This business is like the Wild West. Gold, silver, rare coins, lost treasures of history. You never know what's gonna walk through that door. Oh, whoa!
There's a Civil War sword.
I got robbed at gunpoint.
Watch this.
I'm Evan Kale, and this is Pawn Man. Guys, we have a very exciting episode of Pawn Man in store. Before we get into it, number one, if you like these videos, be sure to like it, hit the subscribe button so you know when new Pawn Mans are coming out. And I want to thank our episode sponsor, Bong Water Beverage Company. Is a THC-infused drink available in Minnesota, Oklahoma, Missouri, Kansas, parts of Texas, and parts of Wisconsin. I can't recommend it enough. In Minnesota, you must be 21 or older to consume. So check out Bong Water Beverage Company. And with that, let's get into a great video. What are we looking at? We have a gold watch. What can you tell me about this watch?
It comes from Alaska. It was my dad's. It's a railroad watch.
That was a fast answer.
Okay, railroad watch. Roughly what year, do you know?
Oh, I have no idea.
My thought is this is what he had done here as aftermarket.
What do you mean aftermarket?
I mean, he had gold put on here as like an aftermarket, kind of making it fancier.
Oh, these must be like nuggets he had put on.
Yes.
Yeah, they are gold nuggets.
These are 24 karat, okay. Let's see, I don't think this part is down here. See, these are very hard for me to determine because I don't know. Yeah, like this part right here, this is stainless steel. Right. This part I think is plated. And then on the side here. Did he work for the same company his whole life?
Well, no, he was a railroad man in Texas or in New Mexico, where he came from. In between, then he went to the Navy when he was 17. He said, "Well, you can't. You're not old enough." So he went home and he told his mom, "You need to sign these papers because I want to be in the Navy."
I could do 600, and I'm guessing because it weighs 80 grams, and I'm guessing half of the weight is in the movement here with the glass and the crystal and all this stuff. So I'm just guessing, but I think 600 would be all right for me to take a chance on it.
Could you do 650?
I'll do 650.
Okay.
Thank you, appreciate it. Yeah, if you guys got more stuff, bring it back. We do collectibles here, all kinds of stuff. This one, I don't know. The whole thing weighs 81.9 grams. See, there's 24 karat gold here, but it's overlaid on 10 karat. And then the back, this is weird. This is stainless steel, but this appears to be at least 10 karat gold right here because it held for all the marks. So there's a lot of gold on here. It's just, I don't know exactly how much. So let's say it's 40 grams of, it's a mix of 10 and 24. We'll call it 14. Melt value is 1400 if that's the case, but if it's only 25, it's 800. I will do fine on this watch. I'll make low end 200, high end like 600. So here's the winning deal. That's how we do it. So this, you guys, somebody asked me to bring my Beanie Babies in. I'm not gonna take them all out because it'd be a massive pain in the ass. This is all my Beanie Babies. There's the teeny beanies. There's well over 10 grand my parents spent in this bin. Now, I have a hell of a collection here. According to Collector Guides, this is a $100,000+ collection. Most of these are tag errors. What are tag errors? Well, tag errors occur here in the tags because Beanie Babies started out so bare bones. They made spelling mistakes, just random grammatical mistakes in the tags. And so as a result of that, the first edition Beanie Babies are more expensive or they're more sought after because of the tag errors. So what's an error here? This one doesn't have the extreme errors, but it's got a few. You see right here, there's an extra space after the exclamation mark. See, it says Deutschland Nuremberg. Nuremberg is spelled wrong. There's spacing issues here. Anything that's spelled Nuremberg wrong is more collectible. But this one also has the PVC pellets, which are the most collectible ones you want to get. The PVC pellets were what they originally filled them with, and then they changed it for a different kind of pellet to save. I think it was to save money. Maybe because kids are choking, I don't remember. This poem has a tag error, let me just read it. Peanut the elephant walks on tiptoes, quietly sneaking wherever she goes. She'll sneak up on you and a hug you will get. Peanut is a friend you won't soon forget. Okay, and then this one's got this like red mark here. I forget what this one is. So these are the tag errors, and my whole collection is like that. Now, why do I still have it if it's worthless? Why have I been hauling this around for 20 years? Well, everything comes back. Eventually, always. And I've said this so many times, I'll say it again. I think this is gonna come back on total accident. I think somehow it's gonna re-enter the pop culture lexicon on total accident, whether it be by a catalyst of 90s fads coming back. Actually, I think we've seen Pogs start to come back. Or there will be something pop culture related that will reignite the fad somehow. And the joke that I've said, and I swear to God, actually, this might be how it happens. It seems like the most plausible to me. A major influencer or musician, like Nicki Minaj, will have a new rap song called Pop Pussy Plush, and she'll feature a Beanie Baby. And that'll accidentally do it. Suddenly you're gonna have people just on total accident. You know, we see it a lot of time with people that explode virally for like no reason, like Alex from Target. Great example. Who? Exactly. Just for like 1 second, a total accident happened, and this kid got mega famous and was the viral flavor of the minute. And it was like the biggest thing for like a minute. And just, it was a total accident that had happened. Same thing could reignite Beanie Babies, but you know, that person just kind of accidentally came into the moment. This was a big deal in the 90s. And if it gets the spotlight again and it gets the momentum behind it again on accident, it could come back, and I really do think it will one day. What I think will happen though is it'll briefly come back and then the bubble will pop all over again, and that's the time to sell it. That's where I'm gonna sell it, and then never touch the again because it is worthless. I mean, also at this point, I've had it for so long. My parents put so much money into it. I may as well hedge my bet against time. And speaking of which, you guys, I may actually redo it as a subject. Some of my early Pawn Mans from a few years ago, I kind of want to redo them because they're good subjects. And although I did a good job, I have janky teeth and the quality is way shittier than it is now. Like if you watch my old videos versus now, it is somewhere probably right when I went off on my own, I like found my voice and like I really found like confidence, and like it's just not quite there in the early videos. One of the first episodes we covered was the Beanie Baby, the Great Beanie Baby Bubble. It is one of my favorite stories in collectibles. I strongly recommend reading the book about it, The Great Beanie Baby Bubble. Excellent book. I haven't seen the movie yet. I'm dying to watch it. I'm actually, probably this weekend I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna get the Apple TV just so that I can see it. So there's the Beanie Babies. This is as close as you guys are ever gonna see to seeing all of them, unless they really do come back, in which case I'll showcase all of them that I have, but I'm gonna haul it back home. Beanie Babies, everyone. Check out my episode all about the Beanie Baby Bubble and read that book. All right, what do we got? Let's take a look.
Well, I can't understand why you wouldn't want this stuff.
Well, I haven't seen it yet. Maybe I'll change my tune.
I don't think so. This is a jar of Canadian.
Okay. I mean, some of these you can spend. Some of the stuff I'll buy.
So these are all Canadian silver. Oh, perfect. Steph will be happy. I got a friend going on a honeymoon to Mexico, and she wants all my $2 bills to use as tip money.
Okay. Is that all you got?
Oh yeah, you got everything.
Okay. So all this stuff, just put it in the bank.
You don't think it has zero value?
I think it has zero numismatic value. Because even if it had some numismatic value, have them clinging together in a bag, they're getting scratched up.
Oh.
Yeah, you're
okay.
You know, if I were to try to sell it, I'd get probably 1% over face value tops, and it just like wouldn't be worth it to me. But this stuff I'll buy. All this stuff here.
I can take it to the bank.
Yes, yeah. You're not losing out on anything by putting this in the bank. But you did have a little silver. There's a little bit of stuff here. Yeah, so I'll do $80 here.
How many?
$80.
That's fine.
All right, you want to grab 80? Sweet. Well, thank you. We'll see you again.
Have some fun.
Oh, I shall. I got some work
Okay.
cut out for me now. All right, let's kind of look and see what all we bought here. As of right now, I paid him top dollar, and I did that because he's an estate dealer, and I want to do more business with him. I don't really want to pay 90%, but I can make some money at 90. So
This is all silver, and I'm putting this away. This is probably $30 right here. Here's probably $40 on a whatnot auction. And then all this stuff here, this is all world coins. They're literally going right over here in this bucket. The wheat pennies I gotta look through, and actually
they were organized. I saw what looked like a couple better dates, but I just kind of dumped them because that's how you do this. All right, so this deal's done. We gotta go through these wheat pennies, let you know how I do. So I gotta show you guys really quick. Garlic Jr. from Dragon Ball Z. In one of the recent videos, I told you guys my friend Jimmy is getting married and I'm gonna be his best man. We met in 7th grade over Dragon Ball Z. He gave me these stickers, and Jimmy and I hate the Garlic Jr. saga for so many reasons. The nerdiest of which, it doesn't fit in the timeline because none of the movies really do except for History of Trunks and I guess Bardock, Father of Goku, and maybe Broly, maybe one of them, maybe. But not Garlic Jr., but there's a Dragon Ball Z movie, Dead Zone, which doesn't fit in the Dragon Ball Z timeline. But then in the Dragon Ball Z timeline in the show, there's a Garlic Jr. saga, and it's like unwatchably bad. It's so awful. So we would always, when we would rewatch Dragon Ball Z, we would always just call it the Forgotten Saga, or we would just like skip it because it doesn't matter. So there's a Garlic Jr. sticker that he gave me. Where am I gonna put it? I don't wanna just throw it away. Oh, here we go. Perfect. True story, I got the idea to put it there because Jimmy's mom, when we were in middle school and high school, when George Bush was president, she had a picture of George Bush on the toilet like that, like, so he was always facing the water. Once again, you guys, I want to thank the episode sponsor, Bong Water Beverage Company, a THC-infused drink available in Minnesota, Oklahoma, Missouri, Kansas, parts of Texas, parts of Wisconsin. Must be 21 or older to consume here in my great state of Minnesota. Bong Water Beverage Company is a THC-infused drink designed to hit you fast, taste great, with a variety of milligrams and options, including gluten-free and sugar-free. Check out Bong Water Beverage Company's website in the video description below to find out if they are either in your state or coming soon. And with that, you guys, we are talking all about pattern coins. What is a pattern coin? It's a coin that never was. It was never meant to be. A pattern is a coin that was minted as a proposal to be minted further into mass production, but then for whatever reason, Congress said no. Or the authority in charge of releasing the coins said, not this one. Now, personally, my favorite coins are coins that are failures. Coins that have weird backstories where the coin was a flop, or they discontinued after a very short amount of time, or something along that regard. And with that, pattern coins are the creme de la creme of the rare of coins that never were. My favorite coin is, or at least my favorite American coin, is probably the trade dollar, and that's because they made it for a very limited amount of time because it was a huge flop. It was meant to be traded overseas so that the United States could have a silver piece to compete with the Spanish real, but for whatever reason, people just didn't like them. It didn't take, and so they discontinued it after, I think, 13 years. A pattern coin was put in front of Congress as a proposal, and they shot it down. Now, the reason why these coins are so expensive, not only is it because they make so few of them, and the story behind them makes them more collectible. You know, they were failures, they were rejections, they were with toys. Any kind of toy that is an error toy, a toy that's a mistake, a toy that was canceled early. Example C, Jabba's Palace, the Lego set that we talked about, which I'm actually in the process of trying to get one for investment purposes. That set was discontinued because it caused controversy, and as a result, it made it more expensive. Same thing with these pattern coins. They cause controversy, they're scarce, they're meant to be destroyed, they're said to be destroyed. It seems like every time we have a pattern or a proposal coin, there's always a few examples that get out, and they usually are illegal to own. Very much so like the $100,000 Goldback, which also is in the Smithsonian. A lot of the most famous pattern coins are. I've actually seen them. I'd strongly recommend you guys checking out the Smithsonian exhibit in Washington, D.C. The pattern coins they have there, I mean, you are in a room with like $1 billion in numismatics, and there's only a few items. They're that rare. Now, it's not always the design that is why the pattern is rejected. Oftentimes, it's the material. Example, they will sometimes strike coins with experimental alloy. Aluminum pennies, one of them. And they do this to see, is this more feasible? Do we like this more? Do we want to go with this instead of how we've been manufacturing the coin? And if the answer is no, and they're all meant to be destroyed, and a few of them get out, then they're ungodly expensive. But they are illegal to own, very much so like the $100,000 bill, because they're the property of the US government, or whatever government is issuing the coin. The coin is the property. It was never meant to be released to the public. Once they release it to the public and the Congressional Act passes and the coin is put into production, then it belongs to the public. Then, you know, whatever. If they make a mistake putting it out and they've issued it out, that's on them. But if they never approve this coin to be made in the first place and it gets out, it's still the property of the government. It was never meant to get out in the first place. It is stolen property, and for that reason, you cannot own it. And if you're caught with it, you not only have to surrender it, you can probably even get charged with it. I haven't seen any extreme examples of that. And I'm sure you guys out there are some coins that are unknown because these people are sitting on them. They're sitting on coins that are worth maybe $100 million. There's never been a coin that's sold for quite that much money. But the scales of collectibles and really exotic, expensive collectibles has gone way up, which we talk about, it seems like every episode here. And something like this that got out, if you found a buyer and you're able to make a black market sale happen, yeah, you could get that kind of money for it. But it's because it is so taboo. It is not meant to be sold. It is meant to be destroyed. If the government finds it, they will probably destroy it. They probably won't put it in the Smithsonian just to prevent it from ever getting out again. So by very definition, a pattern coin has not been approved for release. They are generally made of lower quality alloy, but not always. Sometimes they're made of a higher quality alloy. A lot of the most expensive patterns that you can buy, and we'll get into why you can buy those in a minute here, are made of gold. So pattern coins, another thing that's unique about them is they have their own scale. They don't fall on the Sheldon grading scale. They fall on what is known as the Pollock grading scale, and it's 1 to 9 points. It's not based on condition, it's only based on rarity. R1 to R9. R9 is the rarest, R1 is the most common. So to give you an idea of just how expensive the rarest of these coins are, anything on the R9 scale is gonna command over $10 million, if you can find an example that you can own. There's a handful that are worth 15 million. There's a handful more that haven't sold yet, but when they do sell, they're gonna be estimated to command more than 20. These coins are gonna break records for some of the most expensive coins of all time. If you're a rich coin collector, you wanna collect patterns. That is the rich man's collection of numismatics. The most expensive pattern that I could find, the one that you really, really, really want to own if you're this rich, and like you literally have to be a billionaire to own a coin like this. $20+ million, 1849, $20 gold Liberty. Described by Kevin Lipton as the coin. He called it the coin. What does that tell you about all the coins ever made? He called that the coin. If it sells, and it, like, I don't think it will, but if it sells, it would like easily set the record for the most expensive coin ever sold. Estimate was 20 million that I found, but, and we get into this every episode. You have rich people getting richer. They want to spend more money on collectibles, more shit to make themselves, look cool or what have you. Their concept of money is becoming more and more fleeting, because everybody beneath them is getting more poor. And if it becomes two billionaires in a room, it becomes a pissing contest of who can light the most money on fire for that thing that you want. So it could go for 100 million, it could go for 500 million, who knows? It depends who's in the room and how deep are their pockets. The next coin, known as Teddy's coin, Teddy Roosevelt had a lot of involvement in this coin, they just never struck it. It was a $20 gold Indian, and that right now would be estimated to be worth $15 million. The 1876 George Morgan half union was not struck because it had too much gold, 2.5 ounces of gold. Actually, I think that's what this is that I'm holding here, or at least that's what this is a copy of, although this is just 1 ounce. It was unfeasible by the Treasury because it had so much gold. It just was like, nah, there's too much here. But again, $15 million plus price tag if it was ever sold. But all the stuff I've just talked about, these are all in the Smithsonian. You can't own these. What you can own, and the lowest end of these, they go for thousands of dollars. A pattern coin like that is attainable that you can own. Low end, thousands and thousands, tens of thousands, sometimes hundreds of thousands. 1879 and 1880 $4 Stella gold coins. My dad actually used to have one. I remember seeing it as a kid. This coin was minted and handed to Congress, and they just like never approved it, and they made some that got out, and you, like I said, you're allowed to own this one. If you guys got the money, I would recommend buying this for a collectible, because I can't see that going anywhere but up, as an opinion. These coins were proposed for international trade, and again, it was just a coin that kind of never was. Highest grade of a Stella, I mean, if you have one that's uncirculated, like a really good one, you're talking $1 million coin here. A cheaper example you can find is an 1850 ring form cent coin, and this is a coin you can buy for thousands of dollars. This is probably gonna be one of your cheaper examples. You're better off finding a foreign pattern coin than you are a US domestic one, because US coins are probably the most collectible coins on earth. More people seem to collect US coins than any other coin, at least by my experience, not just because I live here in the States, but just talking with people really like American coins, particularly Morgan silver dollars. So going over some other examples I found of some pattern coins, there's an 1804 silver dollar. Last one that sold was 7.68 million. A 1913 Liberty had nickel. There's only 5 of those that are out there. The last one that sold that I could find was in 2010. It sold for 3.7 million. I would think that coin today, if that went up for auction, would be somewhere around 10 million. There's a 1974 aluminum cent, which again was a proposal to see if they wanted to strike pennies with aluminum. These are worth millions. However, you can't own these. The government, what happened with the aluminum cent was they were ordered to be destroyed. We have covered this on Pawn Man before. The aluminum cent was ordered to be destroyed, and for whatever reason, they entrusted somebody at the mint to take it to a local furnace, and the guy was like, here's the bag. There's definitely all of them here in the bag. And the bag was melted down, but the guy kept a few and they got out, and there's a few of them out there on the market. That was thought to be commanding 2 million, but the US government got involved and they were seized. So this is the problem with a coin like this. You're sitting on something that's ungodly rare and expensive, but you can't sell it. Other examples, there's a 1792 birch cent. There's only a few examples of this. In 2015, one of them sold for 2.6 million. There's an 1866 no motto seated Liberty dollar. It just doesn't say "In God We Trust." And a unique example of that in 2005 sold for 1.5 million. Again, I would think that would be tenfold if that sold for auction today because of the collectibles market. In 1792, there was a silver cent. High quality examples of these are $1 million. In conclusion, this is one of the most expensive fields of numismatics. I think it's one of the most fascinating. I think these pattern coins, I like almost all of them. I don't like this Barber one here. Because I got it out for Barber. He was a massive asshole, and I just don't like his design. However, the reverse on it is quite nice. I do like this reverse. And these pattern coins, I mean, they're very controversial. They're very taboo. And that if you do find one, oftentimes, you got to do your research and make sure that you're not breaking the law by simply holding it. That to me is fascinating.
So right here, I have 3 numismatic copies of patterns that are in front of me. These are all in my private collection. This is the 1906 pattern double-edged eagle. It's in the Smithsonian collection. I've actually seen the real example of it. And this is probably, I think Barber designed this. This is probably the only good coin Barber has ever designed, because Charles Barber was a terrible asshole. So curious, yeah, so it's in the Smithsonian, the gold piece. This is just a silver copy. And you can tell it's a barber coin. He's got a very specific way of making his coins, at least on the obverse. In my opinion, they're very ugly. They're very Greek looking. And then these, I actually just bought this. This was at another dealer's. I had one of these like 2 or 3 years ago, and I sold it when I had a money issue. It was shortly after I opened up my store. I remember I paid, it was when I worked for someone else in my career. Use your imagination. And I remember they sold this to me. They sold this to that person at Spot, and then I was like, hey, can I buy it? And he said, yeah, can I have that in lieu of payment this week? And they gave this to me, so it was an ounce of gold, and then I sold it, and then I just bought it back. $17.50, and then I sold it for like $2,000. These go for about $3,000, but I dumped it to another dealer, the other one of these that I had. Maybe this is the same one. I don't know. These aren't serialized. But this is the George T. Morgan. This is the Gold Union. So this is a silver copy and a gold copy. These are also, I think, in the Smithsonian. I don't remember seeing these. But these are some pattern coins that never were. And by pattern, I mean these are just numismatic copies that were made to commemorate the patterns. And these, you guys, these you can attain. They're not cheap. Low end, they're like $75, you know, 3 times melt value. Gold ones, they're gonna be probably about 30% above melt if you wanna try and get one. Retail on this low end retail is like $2,500. Right now, gold is $2,000 an ounce. But they are really cool. I just love the designs. Well, maybe not this one. But pattern coins, very expensive. And if you find one of these in the wild and it's actually real, you may not wanna tell anybody you have it. It might get seized.
I would recommend, if you can get your hands on any kind of a pattern, I would recommend buying it, getting it certified, and just sitting on it for 10 years. I would think a coin like that will go up. And that's the magic of pattern coins and numismatic failures. I like pattern coins because they're failures. Kind of like my writing career. Go read my books so I stop crying at night. Alright guys, well that'll do it for this episode of Pawn Man. If you guys like this video, be sure you give it a thumbs up. Once again, I want to thank the episode sponsor, Bong Water Beverage Company. Check it out if you're available in Minnesota, Oklahoma, Missouri, Kansas, parts of Texas, parts of Wisconsin. Bong Water Beverage Company. It's not literal bong water. The amount of people that are like, oh gross. No, it's just a catchy name, my god. Bong Water is a THC-infused drink designed to hit you fast with great flavor. Available in a variety of different flavors, different milligrams, as well as gluten-free and sugar-free options. I personally buy it at Clown Glass here in Uptown, Minneapolis, so check it out. If they're not in your state yet, and you have a state that has sane legislation and allows THC and isn't the authoritarian part of America, then check out Bong Water to see if they are in your state yet or if they are coming soon. Again, link in the video description. And if you guys like this video, share it across the board on social media. I could use more views. Become a Patreon if you want to support me or if you like what I do. Check out pawnmanstore.com. If you guys want to see the World War II photo book album, the full album is published on pawnmanstore.com. So again, check that out. Link in the video description. You'll notice also there is a very lengthy essay. If you want to check out the World War II book, please read that. And if you like my writing, check out my other books. They're available both on my website, signed and unsigned. They're also on Amazon. If you read it, please write a review on Amazon. It does help me a lot. Even if you don't like the book, write a review. And with that, you guys, I'll see you back here for another great episode. Later.